Good day, everyone. As always, rise on the destination. Salute out here on this Sunday, gathering my goods for the week, my fruits and all that type of stuff, my over the road stuff, my salad, all that good stuff. But what I want to speak about is I know I give a lot of grief to dispatchers, and I have it myself. So I know people probably wondering like, why does he do that? Or why does he say that? But yeah, he utilizes dispatchers as a resource. This is why, because I want people to understand when they do or don't need them, or if they can or can't afford them. So, for instance, I have a few people on my team, gentlemen and women, and one of my guys, he hardly ever uses our dispatchers. If I call him with something, he'll take it because he know I'm bidding at $3-4 a mile. Our dispatchers, who still submit stuff to him as well, they'll reach out to him and he'll deny it because he's on the same load board they're on. So they're not adding value to him. He's looking at the same exact loads they're looking at. And of course, he's going to bid more for himself, which in turn is way more in value than it is for them to get the load for him. So that's what I'm saying. If your business, so for me, I use them and they add value to me because I used to always go back home. I would get a good load, which would afford me the right to head back home. So mind you, let's just say I go do a 300-mile load for $900 to $1,000 or $1,200. That's enough money for me to go ahead and say, you know what, I can head back home. So I would do that instead of getting a dispatcher and having them book me something on my way up, having them book me something on my way down. Now, some may be thinking, well, why wouldn't you book yourself something on the way down? It's a little more difficult because I'm driving, I'm trying to handle things. I got other people that I'm closing out loads for, answering questions for, bidding for, all that type of stuff. So it's like I don't have time. You know, there is a point where my partners are my priority. So once I already have my load, now especially if I got mine at $3 or $4 a mile, that immediately my priority. You know, if I'm getting $1,200 for that one day, and I know our goal is $1,000, and they're at, let's just say $500, $600 on their first load. Yeah, now I'm kicking in full gear to make sure they get something. You know, because they've entrusted me, you know, to add value to their situation. So that's why. So the reason a dispatcher fits me is because while that dispatcher is looking for something for me, I'm trying to find something for them. So that's how my dispatchers add value to my situation. I would at the beginning I would never start off with dispatchers because they're automatically cutting into my gross, which ultimately damages your net, right? So, and I broke that down in the previous situation where I showed you that if I'm bidding at $4 a mile and they're bidding at $2 a mile, that's automatically 50% cut out of my potential gross. And then they also get 8% on top of that. They get 8%, that's their fee. So now we have 58% of my gross is gone already. Then 2% to factor. That's 60% gone out of every load before I get a penny. So that's why starting out, I didn't have them. Because I'm like, I can't afford that. You got to know what you can afford, you know. So, but now I can. You know, my regular was dead heading back home after every load. Because I was getting great rates. And now I'm like, well, let me just fill that gap in. Let me get something else. And then also, if they book me something that'll extend me to the next day, now I'm like, well, let me just stay out. So now I'm not even moving. You know what I mean? Where I am, every move I'm making is, you know, the wheels turning, money earning, you know what I mean? Straight up, you know, so that's how they added value to my situation. So I hope that was clear. I hope everybody understood it and can make the proper decision whether or not they need to utilize a dispatcher or not. Because it's not a financially intelligent decision or business move to make for some of us, you know. So that's pretty much it. All right. And then also, I'm adding multiple people on, and truth be told, one dispatcher, if they really trying to make somebody some money. Now, if I just want to jump on the load board and keep people running and book them anything, then, you know, yeah, I could probably handle 10 people at one time. But if you're really trying to get people money in a good deal, if you're booking for people, trying to add value to somebody's situation, only one dispatcher should be handling anywhere from 3 to 5 trucks. I know that can sound kind of crazy, but it's like you got to figure you want to get at least each truck 2 loads per day for the most part. You know, a load to start off the day, and then a load to either finish the day, a direct, or a load that's going to carry over to the next day. But that's what you want to do for them. So you really got time to probably book about somewhere between 3 to 5. The best of the best can get 5 done, and I don't even feel like I'm there. Because I'm super picky with my rates. I want everything to make sense for my guys, and I'm always looking to leverage uh, uh, financial opportunities. So even when I know I want to get them 2, if one of those 2 don't take up the full truck, now we trying to stack. So it's a lot that goes into it, and it's a lot of strategies that could change the gameplay for the day. You know, so that's you know, so I feel like one dispatcher per every 3 or 4 drivers. If the person is really really good, then they can handle 5 and have good relationships, strong relationships. I have some of them, so I think I fall around the 4 category. Um, the 4 if I wasn't driving. So truth be told, right now I'm around the 3, but I got 1, 2, 3, 4 partners. So I knew I needed dispatchers, and I didn't want to just get one because then you're held to the limitations or the restraints of that one. You're kind of handcuffed. So I got 3 and a possible dispatchers. I call it a possible because the other one is he trying to earn his spot. The funny part is he charges me the least percent, but I don't see him being aggressive with his bids yet. And that's a conversation I gotta have with him. So I hope I gave some clarity to it. I hope I didn't overtalk. I think I stayed on subject. I mean, I hope I didn't lose you anywhere and all that. So that's the whole thing about dispatches. Making sure your situation is set where if you plug them in, they're adding value. They're not hurting your top line and ultimately your bottom line as far as your earnings. All right. As always, rise to the destination. Salute.